This episode is brought to you by Monkey Nutrition.
How mental is the game of basketball when you're going against top level competition? Is there trash talking? Is there intimidation going on the court? How does that work?
It is. I think the more important the games are, the more that is happening. You know? I think still there's more of it in the NBA. The NBA game is more vocal on the court.
Because that's an American thing, or because
it is. But I think it's slowly coming over here. You know, you have guys talking trash and talking all kinds of stuff. But
what language do you talk trash when you're in Barcelona and you're playing someone from Italy? I'm like,
I think English is the universal language of trash talking. So we all use English. So you make sure the other guys are understanding what you're trying to say.
What's typical trash talk? Can the referee call you for trash talking, or can you say whatever you want?
Well, yeah. I mean, the referee can give you both you and the opponent. If you guys are getting too much into it, he can give you a technical foul. It basically means, you know, you get a couple of those, you get thrown out of the game. So yeah, they try to control it. Yeah, you definitely can't say nothing to referee, especially not some bad words or some cursing or whatever. You got to be very respectful to what they do and how they're trying to keep the game clean. I'm not the best at that. You know, I talk to the referees a lot, and
oh, you do?
Yeah. And I got penalized a lot throughout my career for it. But
does it help though? I mean, if you have a precedent that the referees know that you're gonna not take any bullshit comments, do you get better calls?
Not from my experience.
Come on.
I mean, look, the superstars, I'm sure they can have a little bit of influence on that, you know, because not just because of what they talk to referees, but because they make sure that the whole stadium sees that they're talking to him. So it puts a little bit of pressure on the referee, you know, to open his eyes more and to see what's going on the court. I don't think they make huge differences, you know, inside the game, but it definitely opens their eyes. But yeah, it's you know, I think. For me, I think I have better games when I don't talk to the referees personally, but it's not something that I'm good at. You know, when it doesn't go my way, I like to talk to referees a little bit too much, and that's something that even though I'm 34, I'm still trying to avoid as much as I can.
Do you have better performances when you're emotional?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay,
I do. When I get into it and I really feel the fire and it's borderline, you know, fighting with the opponent, or you know, when you feel that's the way of life and death, to say, like, you know, you're ready to do everything you have to win the game. Once I get to that point, I play better.
Because it's competitive.
Yeah.
It's about winning that game at that time against that guy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. And I haven't really discovered the way how to get to that point. I think the game itself gets me to that point. But you know, I have proved that the more important the game is, and the more it is on the line, usually, obviously, the more I get into it, the better I play.
Can guys get in your head? Have you had times where someone's either intimidated you or gamed you emotionally, where you were like, afterwards, you're like, I'm not going to let that happen?
It hasn't happened much, but it has happened.
Okay.
Where I would let the guy get into my head, and you know, I wouldn't necessarily lose the game, but I didn't play as well as I could. But I think that was when I was younger. That doesn't phase me anymore.
Do they dig at you the whole time, and you're missing free throws, and they're messing
some of
with
them
you?
They keep talking to you, and you know, they keep talking to you, and they try to get under your skin. But the older I get, the more I just don't worry about it. I just laugh at it, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Okay. And do you use those tactics on other players?
Not
as
much.
well?
Not much. I was never one of those players. I was never the instigator.
Okay.
I was never the instigator.
That's probably what they all say.
No. No, but really, I never was. I try to be very respectful on the court to the opponents. I don't, even though if it's a young player, a player that realistically is not up to the level that all the other guys on the court are. You know, the guy that's just coming up. I'm not disrespectful to the guy, simply because I've seen the other part. Like I told you, the Grand Hill thing before, when I stepped on the court for the first time, and the guy told me, "Welcome to the NBA." I mean, I try to. That's the type of player I want to be.
Okay, to the new guys or to everyone. Okay.
To the new guys, but you know, still, when it comes to the game itself, I'm going to try to kick the guy's ass.
Right, and you've always been competitive.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the good MMA fighters say they don't fight emotionally, because when they start getting emotional, that's when you see guys lose. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, they're very competitive. Mm-hmm. You know, the reason Johnny Hendricks pulls out the win in the 5th round is because he's been doing that all his life, and he's highly competitive. That doesn't mean he might not be emotional, but he's competitive, right? And that sounds like you.
Yeah, but you know, you also have players who can stay calm and they don't even show a facial expression. They have a great game and decide the game in the last second, and doesn't change and doesn't faze them.
Right.
I'm not one of them. You know, I show emotion. I'll be devastated after a loss. You know, I'll be incredibly happy. You know, I mean, We won the Spanish league, and it was a huge victory for our club. And I cried after the game.
That's cool.
Crying like a baby.
This week on London Real, we're taking you back to our 2012 interview with futurist Jacques Fresco.
We must eventually design a language that's not subject to interpretation. Whenever you talk to people, you think you're talking to people. It goes in their ear and comes out in relation to their background. They don't hear exactly what you say. There is no way you can think outside of your culture.
What if we elected you president this year and you started in the Oval Office January 20th, 2013?
I'd be shot in 3 days. Who makes the decisions in the Venus Project? The answer, nobody. They arrive at them. We abolish all separate nations because they're all corrupt.
Jacques Fresco has been designing cities of the future.
What do you think of England and London?
Foul, awful, no city planning. All cultures are corrupt.
And the banking system, what do we do with
Bank
that?
it gone, no money anymore.
On Sunday, London Real presents Jacques Fresco, The Venus Project, Redux.
Most politicians know nothing. Please don't take my word for it. Ask them.